every amount of pain there.
Something big, like a Star Wars or a Marvel.
Wouldn't have been good, but would have been like,
You are at the movies with Ace.
And Martin.
I was going to say we are at the Oscars, but we're not at the Oscars yet. I'll save that when we're actually at the Oscars, because we are talking about the Oscar nominees. They were released this week, and yeah, we're just going to go through each of them, give our quick thoughts, kind of like same format as later on in this episode. We just kind of talk about the movies that we are most looking forward to. So this is kind of a 2026 preview episode, essentially. So I hope you guys enjoy this little... We're on Variety. We're looking at the nominees. And first we got visual effects. And you guys don't know this, but we just talked about James Cameron a lot for 2 hours. And Avatar... Fire and Ash is nominated here, along with F1, Jurassic World Rebirth, The Lost Bus, and Sinners, which now Sinners has the most nominations in the history of the Academy for one movie.
We're going to be talking about Sinners a lot today.
Yeah.
And I hope that we're talking a lot about the Sinners after the Oscars. I think this abundance of nominations is one, like, warranted. I think it's one of the biggest movies of the year.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to see it so celebrated. However, I think it's a little over-nominated and probably won't be winning in many categories, and I think people are gonna get a little upset with how many categories it doesn't win, despite how many nominations it has. But specifically right here at visual effects, there are 2 contenders in this category as far as I'm concerned. There is Avatar, and then there is F1. That's it. It's one of those 2.
This category is really you versus me. You know, F1 was my Avatar. Pretty simple plot, but I was just blown away by the visuals. I just had a fantastic movie experience. I saw that movie in IMAX twice. Both times at an IMAX theater. I paid IMAX price twice. That is how much I enjoyed that movie. I'm rooting for it, but it's probably Avatar.
It's probably Avatar. It's the only nomination for Avatar. I'm okay with that. As a fan of the franchise, Fire and Ash is a little bit of a dud entry in my opinion. If it goes to F1, I'm not losing any sleep.
Now, I could understand why it
anything
wouldn't,
else here,
because a lot of F1 is fucking real. So, you know.
Which is like another thing that we kind of have to address is next year there's going to be a stunt team or a stunt category. And I think in that world, I think F1 would only have competition with the most and probably last Mission Impossible movie.
Do you think Tom Cruise did something crazy in The Digger to get a nom?
Yes. I do think there will be something stunt team, stunt category for Digger some point in that movie. I feel like with the team there, Alejandro Gonzalez and Yuritu is going to find something stunt worthy there. But if this doesn't go to Fire and Ash, I'd be surprised. And if it goes to F1, I would be just as happy as if it goes to Fire and Ash, honestly. And if it goes to anything else, I'm like, okay, they're padding Sinners for more categories. I don't know what the fuck the Lost Bus is. Thank you, Apple. And then, like, if they give it to Jurassic World Rebirth, it's like one of those things where, like, Suicide Squad won an Oscar for makeup. And you're like, okay, sure. Yeah, enjoy. For sound, we've got F1, we've got Frankenstein, we've got One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Seurat from Neon. This is F1. If it's anything but F1.
If F1's going to win any Oscar, it's got to be this one.
Yeah, I mean, I could see a world where Sinners does too. Shout out to Chris Welker, somebody I've interacted with dozens of times at my job. He's an incredible
even Frankenstein
production sound
a little
mixer.
bit.
Sure. Yeah. And Greg Chapman's a great mixer
pick
as well. I think what Sinners has over the other categories that the other nominations in this category that aren't F1 is how crucial sound is to the plot of the movie, but also the theme. There's a lot of like music mixing and dialogue mixing and a lot of like editing. Like back in the day, there used to be 2 sound categories. There was sound design and I think sound editing. And it was like most people were like, oh, give it to the same movie because the sound was so good. So much so that they just merged it into one category.
Yeah.
But the nuances of those things, meaning like sound design is like what that movie sounds like from beginning to end, whereas sound mixing is the execution on a technical level of that design. I think F1 would win for sound editing, and I think that sound design would go to Sinners. So now that we live in a world where it's just sound, I think it goes to F1 because it has the most sound.
Yeah.
Also, it's got Gary Rizzo there. Gary Rizzo has one sound editing, and
He is the Meryl
what have
Streep
you.
of the sound category.
It's like it's half of Nolan's movies. It's a lot of movies are sound Gary Rizzo.
Yeah, I think you're right on the money. I think I'm also gonna predict F1 there. Production design. We got Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, and Sinners.
This is a category with some competition. This has got some competition.
There's some other movie critics on this platform that really doesn't like the production design of Frankenstein, and I really have to question that, to be honest. Because I had no problem with it.
Yeah, I have a lot of problems with Frankenstein. The production design is not one of them.
No,
I think it's. I think from a technical standpoint, Frankenstein is probably the best production design here. My kind of bias, my bias would lean toward Marty Supreme or Sinners, just because I think that those production designs added so much to the movie but didn't carry the movie. Like, in a world with worse production design, Marty Supreme looks like a cheap imitation of like the 1950s, and it looked like a believable depiction of the 1950s, but with like an 80s style to it. And I think that takes a lot of nuance that I think unfortunately is going to go unrecognized. I think Sinners is the next most likely after Frankenstein for this category, just because it's limited locations. It's Prohibition South. There's a lot of really, really cool. There's like a downtown, like Western setting in the first act. There's a cool train station, and then there's the barn and surrounding field kind of final set piece of the movie. And I think all three of those locations are really well designed. But in terms of sheer numbers, Frankenstein's got it beat, and I think it goes further. So I think my money's with Frankenstein.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a case for Sinners, like you said, but I think it's like the F1 before with sound. If Frankenstein's walking out with anything, I think it's production design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Up next, we've got original song. We've got Dear Me from Diane Warren, Relentless. We've got Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters. We've got I Lied to You from Sinners. We've got Sweet Dreams of Joy from Viva Verity. And we've got Train Dreams from Train Dreams. I think that this is K-Pop Demon Hunters award to lose. I mean, Golden is still on the Billboard Hot 100.
If I would bet money
out
on any category this year, it'd be this one. I think Golden is a lock and a half. Like,
I think the songs I prefer.
It's definitely not the song I prefer, but God, I walk into a Target and I hear it. Like, the song is everywhere.
Yeah, no, it is. And I forget what podcast I was listening to. It was definitely one of our industry favorites. I don't know if it was Big Picture or Blank Check, but someone said that K-Pop Demon Hunters has the staying power on the pop charts of like a Frozen or an Encanto, but with like the actual popularity of Taylor Swift. And like, I get it. It's one of the most successful pop songs of this year. And it is an earworm. And it's from a movie. If it's not Golden, I don't know what to tell you.
Looking at these, I mean, from the songs I've actually really heard, I mean, I Lied to You from Sinners is a pretty good song. But I think
it's more thematically strong, and I also think the Nick Cave song Train Dreams, like, also pretty thematic, and he's a celebrated artist of many decades and hasn't won an Oscar yet, to my knowledge, so, there's like that whole like legacy thing, like, oh, can we get Nick Cave late in career and EGOT like pipe dream? But I don't see either of those in the cards. This is golden.
We got international feature film, The Secret Agent, It Was Just an Accident, Sentimental Value, Sarat, the voice of Hin Rajab.
Yeah.
Apologies if I mispronounced that, but this category, something needs to change with this category because it's sentimental value, right?
Oh, interesting. I don't think so.
Really?
I think this goes to Secret Agent. I think
Okay.
that this is secretly the second most contentious category of the entire year. I think there's one major omission as well. The fact that Park Chan-wook's No Other Choice did not get a nomination here is crazy. Sarat got a lot of critical love. I get why it's here. I think it's the weakest of these 5 movies. Sentimental Value has so many fucking acting nominations. It's crazy. It's up for other categories.
Has an international feature that's nominated for Best Picture ever not win though?
Yes, recently.
That's why I said this category needs to change, because it feels like that happens most of the time.
Yeah, but Sentimental Value is not the only one. Secret Agent's here too.
Oh, okay. Okay, this makes more sense now.
Yeah, and It Was Just an Accident has a lot of fancy buzz around it. The director is Iranian, I believe, and has been put on house arrest again after releasing a movie. This is like the 4th time it's happened. It's technically distributed by the French. They like his art. His home country hates him. It's interesting. But the voice of the Hind Rajab is a movie that I think is maybe the most politically progressive out of all of these, has the most to say about what the story's about, and is very timely. The Secret Agent is one of those movies that Oscars love. It's a movie about the movies. It's set in the 1970s, like dictator-controlled Brazil, and there's that kind of like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but like that neoliberalism, like pat on the back. If we acknowledge Secret Agent, we're acknowledging how shitty our times are. Like typical Oscar circle jerk thing. But this category's got an Oscars villain, in my opinion, and it's like Sentimental Value is on paper the favorite, and it's a foreign international feature film that has almost all white people. So it's very much a contender.
Also produced by
Sarat is
also produced by Neon, right? Which is a studio that's getting a lot of buzz and hype right now.
Not produced, but distributed here in the States.
Excuse me, yeah.
Neon has, I think, distributed 4 of these 5 movies in the States. Sarat is the strangest of these movies. It isn't like Amelia Perez levels of like what the fuck is happening, but it's not the movie that the trailer and like the marketing and the critic response for this movie is not the movie that I watched. I've seen all 5 of these, and honestly, like, my gut feeling is that Secret Agent actually wins this category because Sentimental Value is probably going to get love in other categories, and then Sentimental Value is probably the next most likely. This is a very heated category.
Yeah,
for like no reason.
Yeah, now that you explained it, this is the most interesting this category's been in a long time.
Yeah, and also, again, I think the actual best international feature film from just a cinematic movie is No Other Choice by Park Chan-wook, a South Korean film that is not on here. That is the type of movie that is so relevant to, working class and capitalism. It's all centered around a guy who just needs to have a job so he can provide for his family and will do anything to get the job. And it's so on the nose and it's so funny and it's so Parasite coded that it's one of those movies that should be running away with a major category and is not even nominated in like this is the one that you have to have subtitles to enjoy, which is just crazy to me.
I think I'm gonna play it safe and say Sentimental Value. I don't know. Just a gut feeling.
Up next with film editing, we've got F1, we've got Marty Supreme, We got One Battle After Another. We got Sentimental Value, and we've got Sinners.
The Bohemian Rhapsody Award. Yeah. I do love the editing in Sinners. I mean, that whole, transition scene where he's performing and you go through almost like time traveling in one sequence, all of that takes some tremendous post-production. One Battle After Another, I think of that car chase with the hills, that requires some badass editing as well.
And it's right there at the end, it's really like one of those like lasting, like you think about that movie, you think about that scene, whereas Sinners is like earlier in the movie,
Yeah.
that's, you kind of might forget that if you haven't seen the movie since March, since it came out almost a year ago.
Yeah, if we're trying to think of dynamic editing, you could also say Marty Supreme. F1 kind of plays it safe with its editing. I mean, rightfully so. There was a lot going on in that movie for production wise. It might be One Battle the more I think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is one of those categories that is going to feed into a major award. I think there's, 3 movies here with a Best Director tied to them. And I think it's one of those where, like, if we see early in the night an editing win going to Sinners, the Ryan Coogler train better be fucking chewing, because I think that's going to be a telltale sign that the Academy voters have gone back to Sinners and are fired up. That being said, if I were to, like, make a choice, or if I was the one voting, I feel like One Battle After Another, one of the best things about that movie is its editing, and it's a great film. It's just not one that I like as much as some of the others. But hey, this one's kind of we'll see who gets more awards later in the night kind of category.
Yeah.
If Marty Supreme takes this, Josh, you better be standing up holding your orange ping pong ball ornament up in the air. Cause that's a good sign for you.
Click an order on the jacket. I thought about it. There was a black Marty Supreme jacket I found, and I was like, ooh, that looks pretty good. And
was it $200 or $300?
I believe it was like $150. And I was like,
that's not bad.
If it was $100, I would have done it. Documentary short film. All the Empty Rooms. Armed Only with a Camera, The Life and Death of Brent Renaud. Children No More, Where and Are Gone. The Devil is Busy. And Perfectly a Strangeness.
I've seen the Netflix one and the 2 HBO ones. I haven't seen Perfectly a Strangeness, and I haven't seen Children No More, Were and Gone yet.
Netflix has kind of been taking these shorts lately since they've been putting them out. I think they've won 2 out of the 3 the last 3 years. I could be wrong.
Yeah. I think also like HBO has a history of producing a lot of documentaries and short form documentaries as well. Especially back when they had like TV distribution and alliances with like PBS and stuff like that. Armed with Only a Camera, The Life and Death of Brent Renaud is probably the one that I would assume with like relevancy is the one that takes it. But I mean, all 5 of these documentary short film. Unless you're a documentarian, I don't think you have a right to pick.
Well, the devil can't accept his award if he wins. He's too busy.
Yeah, that's
knee
a good
slapper
point.
there.
That was good. That was good.
I'll take your advice though. I'll go with the same.
Okay. For documentary feature film, we've got The Alabama Solution, Come See Me in the Good Light, Cutting Through Rocks, Mr. Nobody Against Putin, and The Perfect Neighbor. There's none of these that to me are like a standout from what I've heard of them. There was a movie called Encampments that I was hoping would get a nomination in this category. It did not. It was maybe a little too small and a little too early in the year of a release. But looking at these, I think Mr. Nobody Against Putin feels like very much the Academy, let's have Zelensky call in and talk about the state of the Ukraine versus Russia 5 minutes before Will Smith slaps Chris Rock kind of pick. I don't have a good read on this one. I want to catch Come See Me in the Good Light, and I want to catch Alabama Solution and Cutting Through Rocks as soon as I can. I've heard good things about The Perfect Neighbor, but yeah, I'm I'm not in a rush here.
Yeah, with some half-ass research, just looking at them, I think I'll go with the Alabama solution because that just looks the most interesting to me out of all of them.
Yeah. I think that's where I'm leaning too. I will probably
Yeah.
catch these before the Oscars, so maybe we'll on awards night touch base and see
Yeah.
which one we like the most. Now we're getting into the good stuff.
Yeah.
We
The
got
big-
away from that shit.
Cinematography, we got Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Train Dreams. Which I didn't realize Train Dreams is on Netflix, so I will definitely check that out before the Oscars.
I liked it a lot, but you know me, I'm a Joel Edgerton stan.
Yeah. Oh yes, I remember seeing the ads for it. Yep, it's probably One Battle.
If I were to make a shot in the dark guess, not thinking about the politics or what the rest of the night looks like, I would say it's One Battle for sure.
Really, the Oscars could go. It could go many different ways. We could see a One Battle sweep the whole night, and we could just see that name a lot, or we might get a little more of a different type of winners. When's the last time that's really happened? Is when we had all different types of winners. It's had to have happened before 2017, but 2017 I really think about because Get Out won original screenplay, 3 Billboards won awards out of nowhere, Blade Runner 2049 took awards. Like that really felt like a year where the awards were just everywhere in a really fun way.
Yeah, I like when they're spread out, and I feel like a lot of times that comes with like the surprise best picture win. Like you look at the Moonlight year and stuff like that, or you look at the year that Green Book won. As much as that movie was the villain of its year, and no one wanted to see that win best picture. The technical and subcategories were like those are pretty lit. But I do remember 2017 being awesome. I remember being so excited that Blade Runner 2049 won some really good categories.
A young version of yourself hit a dab after Roger Deakins won in my living room. I'll never forget. Big film bro moment. That's 2017 for you.
If it's not One Battle here, my next guess would be Sinners. Isn't that kind of pad out the rest of the night thing?
Yeah.
But like editing, if it goes to Marty Supreme, Josh, get ready to start
cinematography.
clapping.
And it's weird. That's
You're
actually
gonna hit a dab if Marty Supreme snags cinematography.
I might. Marty Supreme's got a lot of close-up shots that I'm not a huge fan of, but man, when they hit those wide shots, I do hit a dab.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised to not see F1 in this category. I think I would probably sub in as much as I did not like in terms of my temperature, my pulse read on F1. I'm like, yeah, it's this year's Top Gun. Like, I don't know what you want me to say.
Yeah.
Like, I think it does pretty impressive camera work compared to Frankenstein and Train Dreams.
Yeah, there's
I'm
nothing
like,
that's
kind of throwing them one more bone.
There's nothing that sticks out to me with Frankenstein when it comes to just pure cinematography. So I think I'd take that out. Yeah. If I had to put in F1. I mean, F1, the opening shot with I thought it was a drone, but it's a fucking helicopter. I mean, that alone should get you a nomination.
Yeah, it's old fashioned and a very like modern and like, I mean, that movie looks like $200 million, which is more than I could say for some other $200 million movies.
Speaking of movies that don't look great, the lack of Wicked for Good. I think I think if we did this, a year ago and we're talking about predictions, I think all of us would have predicted Wicked for Good getting some noms, but no. It all simmered out.
I am happy to be I'm happy to be wrong. Okay, animated feature film. 5 movies that Josh hasn't seen. We've got Arco,
first time ever.
Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelie or the Character of Rain, and Zootopia 2.
I will say Zootopia 2 is carrying the box office as of this recording. It's kind of fucking insane.
And when Disney hits, like in terms of finances, they usually get rewarded for it at the Oscars.
It is on ABC.
There's this staying power of K-pop Demon Hunters carrying Netflix through a not great year, though, which is something else you have to kind of consider. I mean, Netflix does have a few other movies up for awards here, but in terms of like their big tentpole kind of releases, Stranger Things might have helped with some viewership, but I mean, K-pop Demon Hunters is the most watched thing on their platform ever.
It
By
feels
a lot.
like feels like ever since Spider-Verse 1, it's been really eye-opening because it's like, oh, they might not just go for the most, safe and popular thing. And I think K-pop Demon Hunters does have a chance. Yeah, it's very popular, don't get me wrong, but in traditional Oscars fashion, you think they're just going to go with the Disney movie.
And there's 2 Disney movies in the category, and one of them I think 5 people saw, and one of them 5 billion people saw. So
Yeah.
I've heard really good things about Little Amelie or the character of Rain. I watched the trailer a couple of times. It looks cool.
Yeah.
I have not seen it. I will maybe catch that before the Oscars.
Yeah.
You're up next with original score, which is
yeah,
a category you care
big
a
one.
lot about.
Original score, we got Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle, and Sinners. The biggest fucking snub of the year, if you ask me, was F1
No F1
in this category.
No F1.
Hans Zimmer's
Yeah.
best score since Pirates. I will take a stand in that. Not getting a nom is insane to me. I would take I like a lot of these scores, but I'd probably take out Hamnet and then put in F1.
Yeah, I'd also be fine with Begonia not being here. Like, I thought that was a weird pick. Like, I liked the score.
I
for
like
Begonia.
Begonia's score.
It fit the movie really well.
So, since F1 is not here, I would like for it to, and I think it will go to Sinners.
It's gonna be Sinners, and I mean, there's kind of been this love from the Academy for Ludwig Göransson, and he's kind of the next Hans Zimmer, and Hans Zimmer was kind of the next John Williams. Granted, the Hans Zimmers and the John Williams could still show up and win an award sometimes. Alexander Desplat's another one. I don't think Frankenstein's a standout in his filmography or his discography of film scores.
Yeah.
I would say, if not Sinners, I think One Battle After Another, that Johnny Greenwood score, it's got some
Very
good
good score.
earworms in there. It's a good score. It fits the theme of the movie, but yeah, if anything but Sinners wins this category, I would be absolutely shocked.
It feels like Sinners is right here and everybody else is just like right here. Like, it's like, I think it's better by a little bit of a mile.
I agree. We are at makeup and hairstyling now. My beautiful girlfriend Cameron has entered the frame, and I'm sure she's got opinions. We've got Frankenstein, Kokoyo, Sinners, The Smashing Machine, and The Ugly Stepsister.
Wild.
You remember back in October when I told you that this was one of my favorite horror movies of the year?
Yeah, I remember I wanted to watch it back in October. Crazy nom.
I never in a million years would have guessed that movie would get a Suicide Squad makeup and hairstyling esque nomination. However, deserved. It's cool. I love to see that. IFC Shudder, congratulations. This is Shudder's first Oscar nomination. That's pretty cool.
That's wild. From a pro wrestling side, by the way, The Rock not getting Best Actor is not good for us, because that means he's gonna go back to WWE and ruin this year's WrestleMania story once again. But yeah, the Smashing Machine's here. Pretty funny that it's here. It should go to Frankenstein, right?
It should absolutely go to Frankenstein.
Yeah. But will it?
I don't know. I don't really know where else it goes. Like, the Ugly Stepsister being here is enough. Like, it doesn't need to win that category. The
I guess
Smashing Machine's makeup was bad.
I guess I guess Sinners, all the vampires, they looked great. I could see the argument there. Yeah, I guess the point of the Ugly Stepsisters, the makeup's supposed to be bad.
And I haven't seen Kokoyo. I haven't seen that movie, so I have no idea what the makeup even looks like, but I'm curious. I will check that out, at least the trailer, and to see if that makeup's awesome.
Does The Bride get a nom here in a year?
Oh, yeah.
That's the Suicide Squad pick.
If Cruella did,
yeah,
The Bride will.
Let's see. Live action short film. We got Butcher Stain, A Friend of Dorothy, Jane Austen's period drama, The Singers, Two People Exchanging Saliva. As what a way to explain kissing. It's
This is one of those categories that Netflix just tends to snag something in the
Yeah.
festival circuit that's got potential and run with. Part of me thinks that The Singers is probably the lock. But I've heard good things about Jane Austen's period drama and A Friend, Dorothy.
cool
You
that
know,
university pick there, Butcher Stain. That's fun.
I have a lot of opinions on that short film. Do you remember the really controversial one about the guy tattooing his whole body and becoming black?
Oh yes.
This one feels
Same
like a
place?
little bit of a Darman short.
Oh man. I was about to say, like, oh, it's cool. There's a student film here. Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we shouldn't nominate student films. It's.
No, I should give it a fair shake, but I saw some really like damning reviews.
You
and
got
that
me
means I should
curious. That
watch
might
it
be
for
the one I
myself.
watch out of all of them. But you're probably right. It's probably
Shout
The
outs to
Singers.
Tel Aviv University, Steve Tisch School of Film and Television. Up next, we've got achievement in casting. This is a brand new category, and I'm really fucking excited for it. We've got Hamnet, we got Marty Supreme, we got One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, and Sinners.
I will hit a dab
Man,
if
I
Marty
love
Supreme
this
wins.
category. It really should go to Jennifer
should.
Venditti. She also did Begonia, and is the big reason we got
really?
2 breakout performances in that movie. She's one of the
I
greatest
just-
casting directors in the industry.
You think of Timothy Chalamet, Kevin O'Leary, and Gwyneth. That movie does not work without the three of them. It is that's the big three right there of this movie.
But what I really like about this category specifically is it's finally an award to celebrate the ensemble.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the top build. This is like, you got Abel Ferrara there. You got that random Mets fan playing Jeff Butcher in the movie. You've got like so many just incredible like one bit line characters. Like if this award was around 25 years ago, the amount of Coen Brothers movies that would get this category again and again, like this is why I watch movies, is for those characters that just have one line of dialogue that belongs on a t-shirt, you know? And I love this. I love this.
When I was a child actor back in the day and I did auditions, apologies, I do not know her name, but there was this one casting director that always called me in for auditions for various different projects. And like I really remember her because she saw something in me, but I just wasn't a fit for anything, but kept trying. And that just tells you the amount of homework these casting directors have to do and the amount of time they have to put in. Like, it's, like, jokes aside, it is so fucking cool that they are finally getting recognized.
Yeah, and my beautiful girlfriend Cameron pointed out that this is one of those few categories that is 100% a female, like, led industry as well.
Yeah.
And I think that that's totally worth, like, noting. And I have a strong intuition that this is going to Sinners. I think Hamnet being here is a joke. That movie's not an ensemble. Get real. just miss me with that.
Wow, you got Paul Mescal. Congrats.
That must have been hard. Well, where were you 3 years ago, watching the Oscars and being like, "What the hell's After Sun?" Oh, cool, great work.
Yeah, even if Sinners wins, I wouldn't be mad. Is it cheating a little bit because Ryan Coogler has worked with a lot of those cast members before? Kinda is. You could, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, but you could say the same with Marty Supreme.
They had to
Maybe
get
not
Gwyneth
the
out of
leads.
retirement, though. You know,
That's
that had
true.
to take
and
some
had to-
convincing. Gwyneth's like
and
a
had to get
zillionaire.
Kevin O'Leary on a murderous row of now he wants to be a James Bond villain. So that'll be interesting.
What a wild pitch! Not only that, he wants a female James Bond.
It's terrifying.
An insane pitch. I'm gonna say I'm out. Not on. I think a female Bond would actually be pretty cool. I'm out on the Kevin O'Leary part though.
Okay, hear me out. Do we get a weird Oscars moment of Kevin O'Leary getting up and walking out of his seat when there's 15 jokes at his expense?
Oh my god.
Does he say, all right, I'm out? And
Does
it's unscripted and leaves?
that'd be really good. Does Conan do a Shark Tank parody as the opening thing? It's on
No.
ABC. He would have the rights to it. He could do whatever.
I don't think it's the open. I don't think it's part of the cold open. It might happen.
Well, didn't he
like,
do a thing for the Substance last year? That's what I was thinking was the video opening.
the pre-tape. Yeah. Maybe.
Like it looks like an episode of Shark Tank happening. Like that'd be pretty funny. I think.
Actually, that could be cool, and it's them pitching all the Best Picture noms. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you. That's a good idea. If that doesn't happen, they should hire you and me just by association to write the Oscars next year.
We'd kill it. Next we got costume design. We got Avatar, Fire and Ash, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, and Sinners.
My beautiful girlfriend Cameron did point out it is hilarious that Avatar, Fire and Ash.
I was about to say
design nomination.
Like, congrats, you
I
wore
agree.
a morph suit.
Oh, cool! You guys wore a morph suit and threw some twigs on top of it. Good job.
The costume is leaves and guns.
Leaves and guns is the costumes.
Probably Sinners.
Yeah, this is like one of those categories that I'm like, just give it to Sinners because it's nominated for so many things. Now, does it win those big boy awards? We're gonna find out. I would also be super down to see Frankenstein take this. If there's a few of these technical awards that I'm like, if you don't give it to Frankenstein, why are you nominating Frankenstein 9 times? The movie was not that good.
Yeah,
but you know, whatever.
I really liked Frankenstein. But I also didn't see Frankenstein as an Oscar juggernaut either. So I'm in this weird middle ground. I
mean, I love Guillermo del Toro. It'd not in his top 5
it'd
movies.
be like if Dead Man's Chest got a bunch of Oscar nominations. Like, I love this movie, but I don't know what to do with this information.
Yeah, I don't know. We've had Guillermo del Toro fanfare so many times, and I'm always down for it. Because you know why? I want to see him on the red carpet. I want to see him being his cute, like, funny, happy-go-lucky self while he makes all these weird monster movies.
I want his little
love
Shape of
the
Water
idea
glass
him
lens.
I want him to hold up 2 Oscars and look like the happiest guy on planet Earth. Like, I want all that. I just don't need it every year. Frankenstein's not that good.
I do.
It's gonna be a weird year. We're gonna have Kylie Jenner in the crowd.
Yeah.
If they make it. We got 2 months.
The next category is animated short film. This is a category that really no one has seen yet. I do plan on going to a screener that will have all 5 of these in circuit probably next week at IFC. But we've got Butterfly, Forever Green, The Girl Who Cried Pearls, Retirement Plan, and The Three Sisters. The only one of these that I've heard buzz about already is The Three Sisters. I saw like a Subway ad for it or something, and I was like, oh, cute. That's awesome. And then in terms of like recognizable names, Retirement Plan, John Kelly, and Andrew Friedman have both, I believe, been nominated before and not won for an animated short film. So,
interesting.
Yeah, that's where I'm at in terms of my lack of knowledge in this category. And on to you with the next one.
Mine's even less. When you said Subway ad, I thought you meant the sandwich.
Yeah, I went to Jared Fogel's Subway sandwich shop, and they had an advertisement for it.
We got original screenplay, Blue Moon, It Was Just an Accident, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. This could be
this is like a lock.
A lock for Sinners?
Oh.
See, I was thinking this could be a really annoying win for Sentimental Value. Because it'd be like, why?
No, you're right.
This category is weird. I always think of Jordan Peele winning it for Get Out. Like, it's a really unpredictable category some years. But I think you're right.
It is. I think original screenplay is like one of my favorite categories every year, just because it almost always is a wild card. I don't like how often it gets stapled to writer-directors, but the momentum that Coogler's gonna have at this point in the night, and I mean the amount of the fact that Sinners is an original movie that made as much money as it did, I feel like the industry's like, yeah, give it to him, give it to him, give it to him.
Now, which movie you taking out so weapons could get here?
Realistically, there's three I just like. Blue Moon was great.
Yeah.
Great Ethan Hawke performance, great script. I guess that one should probably stay, but like sentimental value, and it was just an accident. I lean with sentimental value should be replaced so that way weapons can get a second nomination for the night.
Yeah.
Like honestly, yeah, I don't know. It was just an accident. Another one of those neon distributed international films that has a little bit of that pulse on the world at large and cultural relevancy and things like that. And it's a great script. It's not one that I would normally expect to see in this category, especially with sentimental value also being there. This just goes to show how stacked that international feature film category really is, because there are other major awards that so many of those films are nominated for. But yeah, I mean, sentimental value is like it's one of those screenplays that is pretty much like a play, where you every few years we get like The Whale or something like that, where it is so dialogue heavy and it's so many characters, it's so much talking.
Marriage Story was another one.
I get why it's here, but I mean, come on. Throw weapons a bone. If you're nominating Sinners like this, come on, give weapons some love.
And to think optimistic, the fact that we're sitting here thinking other movies should have been nominated and snubbed for original screenplay, in a post-strike world, that's a bit of an optimistic thought,
Yeah, I mean, thank God this isn't 5 AI written scripts yet.
Yeah. They save those for the big movies like Doomsday.
Up next, adapted screenplay. I think this one's a lot more contentious. I think there's a lot of options here. Adapted screenplay, you've got Begonia, you've got Frankenstein, you got Hamnet, you got One Battle After Another, and you've got Train Dreams.
I'd be kind of annoyed if this went to Frankenstein.
Yeah, I mean, a bad adaptation of incredible, one of the most beloved books of all time. Cool.
It's probably One Battle.
It probably is.
That's the safe
Thomas
pick here.
Pynchon's one of those writers that gets adapted more frequently than some other contemporary writers. Thomas Anderson really put his movie on top of a totally different type of book.
What I would wish this category would be a movie like Begonia winning, because its adaptation from its source material still aligned with the themes from that source material so well.
But is entirely different.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah. And that's kind of the screenplay element of it, That's always what I think when I think of adapted screenplay is, yeah, you're adapting something, but what's your spin on it?
Exactly. And you talk about the number of spins on Begonia. I mean, it is based off of a, South Korean film that's very different from Begonia. Mm-hmm. Written by somebody who wrote this adaptation a few years ago, workshopped it with Ari Aster, and then it ends up getting made by Yorgos Lanthimos. So in a way, it's like 4 degrees of separation away from what it originally was going to be, or what it's based off of, and is strictly all tied to film. It's not based off of a book like the other 4. It's based off of another movie. I think I said it when we reviewed the movie, but I thought Begonia was a lock for this category, at least getting a nomination. It would be my favorite to see win here.
And I was getting a little worried about it. I felt like it was getting forgotten, but now the Academy did remember it. All right, here's the really big ones. Actress in a supporting role: Ella Fanning in Sentimental Value, Inga Ibnos' daughter Lilius. I butchered that. Apologies. Amy Madigan in Weapons, Wumi Masakyu in Sinners, and Taina Taylor in One Battle.
Yep, this is a great category.
Yeah.
It's kind of a wild card. I'm happy to see Wumi Masakyu in for Sinners. That was totally not on my radar. I thought it was going to be one of those like great performances in a great movie that was just a little overlooked. Not a ton of screen time. Honestly, kind of wish there was more screen time for that character in the movie.
Yeah.
But she's great and is kind of the heart of that movie and carries it through. But this is going to Amy Madigan in Weapons. I know it's going to Amy Madigan in Weapons. I have this gut feeling. I've been thinking about that performance all year, and it's brilliant because the whole movie is centered around that character, and you don't know it. And then when you
Yeah.
see that character a few times early in the movie, it's one of those performances like Hannibal Lecter, where you're like, this is the Hannibal Lecter movie in Silence of the Lambs. But this is the Witch movie, and the Witch in Weapons is the sole nomination for the entire movie. And it's going to go to Amy Madigan. She won the Critics' Choice. I believe she won the Actors Award as well. Did not get the Golden Globe.
I was about to say, the only wrench in this is that Taylor won the Golden Globe. That's the only thing that does back me away from Amy being a lock. But I'm with you. I want her to win. Definitely one of the top people I'm rooting for on that night.
This nomination cemented me watching this movie again this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
so I can finally get my roommates to have seen Weapons.
Yeah. No, it's a must watch before this Oscar season.
All right, up next we got actor in a supporting role. This is a crazy category. Yeah. This might be one of the most contentious along with the international feature. But we've got Benicio del Toro in One Battle After Another. Got Jacob Elordi in Frankenstein. We got Delroy Lindo in Sinners. We got Sean Penn in One Battle After Another. And Stellan Skarsgård in Sentimental Value. Temperature read. Ace, where are you feeling?
You know, I left One Battle thinking Sean Penn was a lock. I was really confident in that back in September. My confidence has shifted, but if I was a betting man, I still think Sean Penn's winning another one.
I think that my gut feeling is telling me that Stellan Skarsgård is getting it. He's never won an Oscar before. He's getting up there in age. He's in so many movies. He's in so many shows. He is one of those guys who's been around the block for a long time. This movie, he's kind of the main character, but has few scenes. You know, everyone in the movie is related to him, and their interactions are about him. He's just only in 28 minutes of a 2-hour movie. You know, so it's one of those that, is it going to go to him? I don't know. I left One Battle After Another thinking, okay, I didn't necessarily think this would be like Oscar's heat. For acting, at least. I didn't think it was Oscar's heat for acting. And then I'm like, well, but Sean Penn's going to get a nomination here. And then this quiet buzz happened for Benicio del Toro. Like, the entire time, everyone's like,
it could,
a few small beers. And he's the quiet hero of the movie. I love him.
It could be like a Brad Pitt win when he won for Cliff Booth. Like, let's just give it to the most entertaining character in the category.
Yeah, let's give it to the best part of the movie. If I'm being honest, who I'd want to win this is Delroy Lindo in Sinners.
Yeah.
He's a great character actor. He's been at it for decades. He's in so many great movies, and usually is the best part of them. The fact that he didn't get a nomination for Da 5 Bloods, which is a movie that I have warmed up to over time. He's been in a lot of great Spike Lee movies, but a performance that he has given as a leading man for like the first time in his career, he was great in. But, I mean, he's a real selling point in Sinners. You kind of get on board with their whole...
Bill Simmons, shout out, called it his Apex Mountain. Wild claim. But if he wins the Oscar, I don't think we could deny that, actually.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love the part where he's just at the train station. He's just, oh yeah, he's the bum musician they got to get the band back together, and he starts playing the music, and you believe him. You know, he really sells the fun parts of Sinners to me.
He makes me thirsty for that beer. I want a few small beers after that one scene.
Yeah. Also, like, low key, if this goes to Jacob Elordi, it's huge for his career.
It skyrockets him.
He won the Critics' Choice Award. It's not impossible.
To me,
and he's the best part of that movie.
Yeah.
If Frankenstein gets one award and all of those preliminary ones we said that could go to Frankenstein just get ignored, and Jacob Elordi takes it, I'm happy.
My sister would love it. Like the women in their early 20s will go crazy for this win if that happened. I feel like the nomination alone should be a win for him, right? Like, this doesn't feel like his time yet. It feels like he's the next guy, though.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think realistically,
Might
what
be-
it comes down to is give it to one of the two old guys who doesn't have it already, and not one of the
Yeah.
two old guys who doesn't have it yet, and then let the young guy get another swing as a leading man.
I just read Elordi was in talks with Denis about Bond. Speaking of Bond from earlier.
Jacob Elordi's not a bad cast for Bond. I think he's
No.
a little too tall.
I didn't realize he was European. It's like I kind of forgot. Feel like he's always had like American accents in everything I've seen him in.
Up next, we got actress in a leading role, Jessie Buckley in Hamnet, Rose Byrne in If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, Kate Hudson in Sung Song Blue, Renette Resvine in Sentimental Value, and Emma Stone in Begonia.
Who saw Song Sung Blue?
The state of Milwaukee. Or city of Milwaukee, the state of Wisconsin.
Why did that movie come out on such a packed Christmas day? I'll never understand.
I don't know, but I'm happy for Kate Hudson to get a nomination.
Yeah,
Good for
I
her.
like Kate Hudson.
But I am really happy about Rose Byrne getting a nomination. I don't think anyone thought that If I Had Legs Would Kick You would get the recognition it kind of deserved. Maybe part of that's because Conan's in the movie and he's hosting the show. And if that's it, like, whatever, that works for me. Give it to Rose Byrne, like, good for her. She's one of those actresses who's been around forever and is always playing second fiddle to somebody else. And to see a movie, like, written for her and her just absolutely relentlessly kicking ass in it, it's a great performance, but it's one of those, like, camera's a little too close to the character. It's a little claustrophobic. It doesn't feel like an actress in a leading role W.
We can't deny though the power of Emma Stone at the Academy. The modern Meryl Streep. There's always a percentage. There's always a small chance of her winning.
This is a lock for Jessie Buckley, though. I would be absolutely shocked if Jessie Buckley doesn't win for Hamnet.
We were shocked when Killers of the Flower Moon didn't win when Emma took that one.
That's true. Emma Stone is like the Undertaker for
she's always
in a
here.
leading role.
The dong's gonna hit, lights are gonna go out, and she's gonna come back on. She's gonna have the Oscar in her hand.
I mean, she won a Best Picture.
The only woman to ever win Best Picture. History was made that night.
Yeah, it sure was.
We got actor in a leading role. We got Timothée Chalamet and Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio in One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke in Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan in Sinners, and Wagner Moura in The Secret Agent.
It's a great category.
Yeah, a lot of great talent here. We brought it up in our Marty Supreme review. This could definitely be Chalamet's night. I've also argued Marty Supreme could be more like his Jerry Maguire. It's not going to win him the awards, but it's the movie everybody knows him from now on. Like, this will elevate him.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
I think that this could be enough of a win for Timothée Chalamet, even if he doesn't get the Oscar. But for selling a movie like Marty Supreme, it could be his Jerry Maguire. You're right on the money.
Yeah.
That's a very good analogy. That being said, I think any shot of Leonardo DiCaprio winning for One Battle After Another is out the window. I don't think that's... I mean, I've hated on this performance. It's my least favorite part of the movie.
Is that just us, though? Because I feel like the Leo hype is still there.
I feel like the Leo hype is so dead. I don't think anyone gives a shit. He's done podcasts this year. Leonardo DiCaprio, the guy who has never had to do a damn superhero movie, is showing up on Theo Von. Are you kidding me? It's sad. No, he's cooked. The hype on DiCaprio is down. Ethan Hawke got a surprise Blue Moon nomination. Everyone kind of felt the Michael B. Jordan hype around the Actors Awards, and I think it's deserved.
I think the twins stuff though is too much of a gimmick for the Academy to recognize. That's not.
I agree.
I love the twin thing, but I the Academy, I don't think does, unfortunately.
Yeah, for them it's too flashy. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
we get it. You're playing two characters. But I don't know. I think Wagner Moura is a secret steals the trophy away from Timothy Chalamet. I think I even said it during our Marty Supreme review. I'd have to go back and check that. But the hype for Wagner Moura has been growing. He's been around for a while now. He was the lead on that Narcos show that was huge on Netflix. But then he was in Civil War in a supporting role. He's creeping his way there, and he leads one of those movies that could secretly run away with another big award later.
You know, this feels like this reminds me of an Oscars year that I actually brought up earlier with a conversation with our friend Jory, that it really was looking, there was a really weak Best Supporting Actor year when Stallone was nominated for Creed, and then it went to what's his name from that Spielberg movie, and kind of out of nowhere,
Mark Rylance for Bridge of Spies.
yes, and it was just kind of out of nowhere, and it's like, it kind of felt like Stallone's year, and that could be Wagner Moura getting the win over Chalamet, where this whole hype over Chalamet, and then boom, it's just the mainstream just did not expect.
No, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Wagner Moura surprise upset over Timothy Chalamet. But you know, whatever. I don't think DiCaprio has a hat in the thing. I think Ethan Hawke getting the nomination. Honestly, it's not my favorite Ethan Hawke performance, but from a technical
Has he ever
level,
won?
it might be his best. No.
So it could be like a legacy one, which that could be
Yeah,
fun.
but he does a lot of movies every year. He's not going away anytime soon.
That's true. Who would have the best speech out of all these guys?
You think Ethan Hawke would?
Yeah, I think I do. I think
Okay.
he'd have a really good speech on how we need to fucking keep film around and film go to the movie theaters and that. I think he'd have a good rah speech.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he would definitely get the most crowd pleasing and least pissing people off speech.
Chalamet, I don't know what to. It depends what movie Chalamet's doing next. He's in the middle of shooting Dune. He might say some wild stuff if he wins. It's like,
What if he's like he gets up on stage and his eyes are like glowing blue, like he just fucking huffed a bunch of spice, and then he turns into a fucking worm. All right, up next we got Best Director, Hamnet, Chloe Zhao, Marty Supreme, Josh Safdie, One Battle After Another, Paul Thomas Anderson, Sentimental Value, Joachim Trier, and Sinners, Ryan Coogler.
crazy. Safdie got a nom. We were talking during our review.
Yeah.
We both did not think he'd get a nom.
No, I really thought the director of Secret Agent would sneak its way into here, and I thought that we would maybe see another Yorgos Lanthimos nomination. I'm happy it turned out the way it did. I thought Train Dreams could have gotten a nomination here. There was
Yeah.
a lot of different fifth spots, and it's interesting to see Marty Supreme in the fifth spot, because it doesn't feel like a fifth spot movie. It feels like it should be the front runner.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Could just go to PTA. It really could.
I think it probably should.
Yeah.
I don't think he's won before.
Really?
I don't think
I
Paul
honestly
Thomas
assumed
Anderson
he
has
did.
won the category for best.
Not for
director.
There Will Be Blood?
No, that movie lost to No Country for Old Men.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
I suppose.
That's that's a tough year.
That being said, I feel like the hype right now is Ryan Coogler. I feel like the temperature check is. I mean, look at that number of nominations. You can't do that without a great auteur. If he wins writer, I think he wins director.
If we go by the Scorsese analogy and the pattern of a lot of great directors, they never win for the movie they should. This should probably be the one Ryan Coogler should win, but he probably wins years later. Whatever his Departed is, that's probably what he's winning. But I don't know.
That's a good point, though, because I feel like the best movies Paul Thomas Anderson has ever made are 10, 15 years
That's
ago
true.
now.
You can make the same argument for PTA.
I would argue that One Battle After Another is it. Well, like no, One Battle After Another is his No Country for Old Men. It almost
Yeah.
like beat for beat in terms of the genre of the movie that it is, the tone, the style, the setting, all of that. It feels like he's harkening back to something that he loves to do, and it's not homage-y, but it is flashy. And yeah, to me, this feels like his Departed.
And
It's a huge pop off for Josh Safdie if he makes this. One thing I forgot to
that's 2 dabs.
Benny Safdie stayed working, mostly as an actor, but he was also producing some stuff and directing some stuff. Josh Safdie hasn't made a movie since Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
He stopped directing for 5 years, had 2 kids, and then cooks up this Marty Supreme thing. It's a cool story. I think there's a lot of people here, especially in the Critics' Choice Circle, the Directors Guild, that want Josh Safdie to win this.
There's a lot of people who thought both Good Time and Uncut Gems were, very, very snubbed in both of their respected years as well. But
if I have to go with my gut instinct, One Battle After Another wins here.
Best Picture: Begonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams. No Wicked for Good.
No Wicked for Good. I like this top 10. I like these picks. I was happy to see Begonia in Best Picture. I wasn't expecting that.
No, not at all.
Dreading F1 being there. It's there. I mean, yeah, Frankenstein's taking up a spot.
Here's the thing about both F1 and Sinners. At least they're movies people have seen. If we're going to have 10 nominees, 2 of them, in my opinion, should be movies people actually have watched in a theater. But no, I don't think F1 should win. If Marty Supreme wins, oh man, more than a dab. I'm doing a whole dance sequence.
I think one of 2 things happens here. One of the most nominated movies of the year wins, One Battle After Another, or Sinners. Or we get a surprise international feature win, Secret Agent, Sentimental Value. I think it's those 4 movies is what this boils down to.
Yeah.
I don't think Marty Supreme's in the running. It just doesn't have as many nominations as I thought it would. It doesn't have the momentum that I thought it would. Movie's one of the newest ones released, and it feels like the hype has kind of died down.
And I think there's a future Josh Safdie movie that could.
Yeah, I agree. I think Hamnet's kind of looked at as like the villain. It's funny that Chloe Zhao, who was celebrated and applauded for Nomadland, is now like, oh, your thing got here? That's interesting. I guess the masses are feeling the way about Chloe Zhao is how I feel about this Frankenstein movie.
It's really tough to come off of Eternals. Like, it's really tough. Did you ever watch that movie?
No, I'm scared. I hated Nomadland. It's not
as bad as
fine.
What everybody says, but it's, even for an MCU movie, it's rough.
I heard a good hot take about it, that it's really good disconnected from the MCU and like in a bizarro future where comic books never existed. This is an awesome movie. And I'm like, I don't even know what that means, but I'll have to take your word for it.
It definitely, it definitely could be like a sci-fi epic on its own, but I don't think there's enough substance there. Yeah.
I just love that tweet where it's like, I got a feeling that Eternals is going to be the MCU's 2001 A Space Odyssey. And the guy says, have you ever seen 2001 A Space Odyssey? And he says no.
It'd be awesome if Sinners won here. That'd be a really great end to the show. It'd be a crowd-pleasing way to end the show.
I would prefer Sinners over the other 4. I think it could be.
It feels like it kind of feels like Parasite, where Sinners is like, it's teetering there, like, oh, it could just win. It'd be wild if it did, but I could see it. Like, we look at the Oppenheimer year and some other recent stuff. The Oscars are picking movies people really connect with.
and that people see. Sinners was a
Yeah.
huge financial success. It got shut out at the Golden Globes, and I think people are pissed about that.
Yeah.
There's something about the Golden Globes right now that feels a little more elitist than the Oscars, especially looking at these nominations.
I love that the Golden Globes have become the ugly stepchild and makes for better TV. If we just had 2 Oscars, that'd be boring.
Yeah, and they were trying so hard to be the Oscars for so long, and now they're just in their reputation era.
And it really all depends who's winning, the awards. If one battle is just sweeping everything, then we're gonna know by the end of the night. If Sinners is sweeping everything, then we're gonna know. Like it could really go either way for a lot of that stuff. But I don't know. I think it's one of those weird years where it's gonna be scattered. I don't think there's gonna be a clear sweep.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And that's why I'm kind of thinking that one of these international films snags it. I think Neon gets back-to-back Oscars. I think that's so likely, especially with where the film industry's at. It's cheaper to distribute a foreign film or produce an indie than it is to get a big studio movie made. And it's if Sinners, Warner Brothers, who's actively being sold, I mean, Warner Brothers led with the number of nominations for the first time in 8 years, the year they're actively being sold to Netflix.
Yeah,
Warner Brothers is having one of the best years ever. I think there's part of me that is celebrating that. Let's give it to Sinners.
Yeah. And I think this year, coming into 2026, they're going to have 16 movies out in theaters, Warner Brothers, as well. So it's going to keep going for another year as well.
When you look at other, I guess, not who you normally think of when you think of, the Mells, right? The Hollywood Mells. The old men who have been in the business forever that choose who wins these awards. You think of, the non-Mel movies to win Oscars recently. You've got Parasite, and you've got Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's kind of it.
Yeah.
And there's a part of me that feels Parasite's going down as one of the best movies of the 2010s. It's going down as one of the best movies of the 21st century so far. I like Parasite.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that. I don't know if it's all that. But you look at Everything Everywhere All at Once, which to me is just millennial cringe slop posting the movie.
And I think it's very quickly losing any kind of relevance.
Okay, yeah.
That's a bad take.
When's the Daniels next movie? Does anyone fucking care? Did they do what they set out to do and gave up? What happened? Anyway, Sinners to me has the hands on the pulse.
I didn't even get Short Round in Dial of Destiny.
Sinners has its hands on the pulse of the cultural zeitgeist. It's coming from a studio that's on its way out, and it's one of the most promising directors still in his 30s. Why wouldn't we give it to Sinners? I feel like Sinners is going to age better in 5 years than Everything Everywhere All at Once has aged in this exact moment, and that was only 3 years ago.
A crazy stat, if Sinners does win, that would mean the last 3 winners all had release dates not in Oscar season. I believe Oppenheimer was July, Everything Everywhere was back in February or March, a whole year before the Academy, and then of course Sinners came out Easter week this past year. So that's a funny stat. I feel like the Oscar bait, the Oscar season is slowly disappearing.
I think that the Oscars is changing. What people were complaining about 10 years ago has happened.
It's actually happening,
in a different era. And I think a big part of that has to do with the old Hollywood is not the old Hollywood of us growing up watching the Oscars anymore, where that was people that were celebrating the movies that came out in the 1950s and 60s and were hoping for the next thing like that. We're now into the disgruntled main character 1970s, the old heads in the Oscar voting rooms are guys who grew up watching Jack Nicholson kick ass.
Yeah.
They aren't they aren't Humphrey Bogart heads anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that difference alone.
The Humphrey
is
Bogart
why we're
fandom's
getting-
dying. We need your help.
There's there's so many like genre movies nominated this year.
Yeah. The fact that
It seems like the most old-fashioned movies are these cheap neon ones.
we have both a movie about Frankenstein's monster and vampires, a racing movie, an alien movie. We do have the Shakespeare movie.
A train movie.
a guy who plays ping pong, and then, however you want to explain one battle after another. These are all crazy movies when you look at them on paper.
There's always that element, the artist element, the movie that's about making movies that is, vaguely foreign. Secret Agent is a secret upset here, just like Wagner Moura and leading actor.
It's gonna be very, very interesting, and I'm excited to cover it in future stuff. And we got some fun Oscar content we've been talking about, and this was kind of the first of it. I'm glad we kind of got to talk about the nominees, do a little preview. A lot of this stuff is on Netflix and streaming right now, so, like ourselves, we'll be checking out the stuff we haven't seen, and, all of you, let us know what you have seen, what do you think should win Best Picture, who are your favorites, and what do you think the biggest snub was? Of course, I think it was Hans Zimmer for F1, but I think everybody's got their own snub.
I think the biggest snub is Ariana Grande as Belinda.
Actually,
I can't believe she didn't get it.
Actually, mine's Harrison Ford in Captain America: Brave New World.
Mine is the Stephen Schwartz song written about animals in Trump, "No Place Like Home," her original song. That could have taken it over Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters. One last thing, Ace, before we'll put this at the end. Check out our discussion on upcoming movies of 2026 that is happening right now. Yeah, do we want to close out with some upcoming movies of the year that we're excited for or interested to talk about this season on the show?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is of course Supergirl. The trailer just came out. I know there's a lot of complaints that it looks like a Guardians movie. It's the James Gunn universe. We're literally calling it the James Gunn universe. I think if these movies visually look like a James Gunn movie, it is what it is. It's the big man in charge. It's what he's going for. I really don't have an issue with it.
I do have an issue with it for one reason and one reason only, and it's not any fault of the filmmakers making these movies. It has to do with the concept of the superhero genre in general. I feel like the Marvel stuff was getting stale.
Yeah.
Around the second Avengers
Visually
movie.
stale as well, yeah.
And then they dropped this banger of a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and James Gunn injected life into the superhero genre again. And then things started to get really stale all the way up until Infinity War and Endgame. And that was because everyone just tried to do James Gunn's thing. So I'm a little worried about an entire cinematic universe of other directors trying to do James Gunn's thing again. That being said, he seems like the type of guy that is down for interesting, unique ideas. And the fact that we're getting a Clayface movie next year before we establish our Batman is kind of just an example of pitch James Gunn, a weird character from the DC comic books that you want to see brought to the silver screen, and it'll be there. I think we might see a Robin movie before a Batman movie.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be animated, but it's an interesting animation. It's almost live action. They're trying something bold. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's a big risk. Not only it's Robin, I believe it's going to be the first time we'll get Nightwing on the big screen. I mean, there's a lot of people are looking forward to that. So it's interesting they're taking this way with it. The Sam Raimi movie at the end of January looks pretty interesting. Yeah, that's
just a couple weeks away.
Yeah,
I'll
looks
watch
like
anything Sam Raimi directs, So
it's January. We know it's the dump month. It's where all the bad movies go. So the fact that I'm interested in a January movie is really cool. It's weird that's a Sam Raimi movie is here in January. Does that mean it is really bad? I don't know. I'm very interested in it because of that. Like, is this, a miss by Sam Raimi, or is it going to be a underrated gem?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, I think it's just cool to see him still making movies. And
Yeah.
he's sticking within his like thriller and drama kind of wheelhouse, They're at the very least there'll probably be at least one or two really entertaining scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Shyamalan's got an adaptation of a Nicholas Sparks book coming out this year.
Oh. Interesting.
So stay tuned for that.
Huh.
I'm very curious what that is.
Yeah, that could be. Huh. Yeah, that could be interesting actually. Does he follow the source material, or is it going to be a twist on something?
The movie stars. Hang on, I looked this up the other day, and it was just mind blowing what we're getting from Mr. M. Night Shyamalan next.
This would be his first feature since Old, I think, which was a big miss.
No,
from
he
me.
made Trap 2 years ago.
Knock on the Cabin. That's what it was called. The Batista flick.
Yes. Okay. So we've got.
And Trap.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got Jake Gyllenhaal playing a grieving architect moves to Cape Cod for work after leaving a psychiatric facility. While staying at a historic bed and breakfast, he meets a mysterious woman who makes him question his rational beliefs about life and loss. And it's starring the chick from season 1 of Bridgerton as the chick that he meets. I don't know. This just sounds interesting. It's based off of a Nicholas Sparks book.
Huh.
Starring Jake Gyllenhaal. I'm looking forward to Here Comes the Flood, which is going to be a Netflix movie. It's a heist film starring Robert Pattinson and Denzel Washington.
Okay.
I don't think I'm legally allowed to say more than that until a trailer comes out, but I did work on it.
Of course. Of course, your boy's excited for Ready or Not to. Here I Come. They didn't screw up the title.
I did not expect that to come out, and I didn't expect it to take place the next minute.
That's a bold thing. I thought it was going to be a big time jump. I thought she was going to have a different husband and stuff. They're going in a completely different direction. I love that. I mean, I have no idea what to expect now. The cast looks great. If it's got that same dark comedy, I'm all for it. I thought Abigail was great. I think that both the Scream movies they directed were really solid. I have full faith in these directors. It's going to be, at the very least, it's going to be 3 stars.
Yeah, I enjoyed Abigail quite a bit for what it was. I don't think it was as strong, structurally speaking or tonally, but it was still a trip. If I didn't know that movie was about a vampire, if I got the same experience that I did out of most movies with a second act twist, I think that movie would have been absolute cinema. It's a shame it got marketed the way it did.
Of course, in April we got Michael.
Yeah, the Michael Jackson biopic. I mean, I know I'll be seeing it.
I'll be
whether I want to or not.
I will see it in theaters, probably in IMAX. The movie's gonna make a lot of money. It might be the highest grossing movie of the year. If I have to make a box office prediction,
no way.
I don't know. I look at the other movies here. It's Doomsday's there, of course. You have Supergirl.
The Odyssey's there.
That's true, but Oppenheimer didn't crack $1 billion. I think Michael's cracking $1 billion.
Oppenheimer cracked $1 billion worldwide.
No, it was 900. It just missed the $1 billion.
Damn.
Maybe now it's hit $1 billion. Maybe it's had some re-releases and stuff.
That's a good point. The international box office is gonna watch a Michael Jackson movie.
I mean, it's the guy who did Thriller, the biggest album, the highest grossing album of all time. It's gonna make bank.
It's a good point. That is a very, very good point.
The Adventures of Cliff Booth is apparently coming out this year.
Yes, that's the next one I wanted to talk about. I am scared.
Our next David Fincher flick.
Yeah, I mean, David Fincher is one of my favorite working directors today. His last movie, The Killer, was kind of a mixed bag. I liked it a lot. Most people kind of hated it.
I like The Killer.
He's making... sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for Netflix,
With everyone's favorite director right now, Quentin Tarantino.
who's only writing the movie. It's based off of, I'm assuming, scenes from his book.
Yeah. I'm with you. I have no idea what to expect from this movie. I couldn't tell you if I'm excited, couldn't tell you if I'm dreading it.
I'm a little scared, personally.
I don't believe it exists yet. I need a trailer.
The production stills looked really cheap. I'm hoping it's just bad set photography.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw some shots on set. And they greenlit that and got that in production so quick.
Yeah, I think it was like April.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, this is going to happen? What? And then like May they're filming. I saw production stills in August, and it's done. It's like edited. It's coming out in like 3 months. I think it comes out in July, actually. I think we're a ways away. It's probably not edited yet. Not knowing Fincher, it's probably got 40,000 VFX shots.
Of course, we got a Disclosure Day, the next Spielberg joint happening. When you compare it to other Spielberg movies, I don't know if it looks as strong, but it's probably going to be the best sci-fi movie since Nope. It's going to be one of those where it's probably a 4-star movie by, minimum. That's just how it goes when it comes to Big Steve.
It's another one I worked on, so I don't want to say too much. We did get a trailer though, so I feel like I can say the stunt work and the practical effects in this movie I think are going to blow people's mind. I think the visual effects and some of the story decisions are going to piss a lot of people off. I think this movie's going to be like a really fun discussion movie. And I'm really excited to hear what the central plot is. Like, the aliens are going to disclose stuff? What are they disclosing?
Yeah.
Does this have to do with the Epstein flight logs at all? What are we getting at here? What is this about? I'm excited.
Are you going to see Toy Story 5 in your birth month? This feels
Probably not.
This feels like an attack on you to have this come out in June.
They did this with Toy Story 4.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Nate, huge Toy Story fan, loved the first two especially. Yeah, the iPad's the villain, evil screen.
Okay, the iPad is going to be the opposite of the Stinky Pete reverse villain. It's going to be the character portrayed as the villain, and then we learn that the iPad has a heart, and the real villain is AI. Actually, it's Disney, so no, the AI on the iPad is going to be the hero. The real villain is going to be... what if the villain of the movie is, like, YouTubers that are, like, stealing kids' attention by dressing up as, like, shitty IP ripoffs of characters from its universe, right? Because, like, remember in, like, 2013 or whatever it was when people were... Oh, it was later than that. It was, like, 2016, 2017. With, like, the weird kink stuff of Elsa and Spider-Man on YouTube, and they had to change their entire children's programming policy. That's the villain of Toy Story 5.
Yeah, I mean, can they give us a better ending than 4? I think that's what this movie comes down to. Can I at least leave the theater a little more satisfied?
I don't even care. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the franchise ended for me with 3. 4 is like some bizarro extra sequel. This is like a bizarro extra sequel.
I'm kind of numb to it.
Lightyear, which is its own thing.
Yeah, I've kind of numb to it now because it's like they're gonna make 10 of these. Like, it doesn't matter, it is, when times are tough for Pixar, they're gonna make a Toy Story sequel, and I think that's gonna be the company motto for a while, unfortunately.
I don't think it's out yet. I think it got moved, but I'm looking forward to that Hoppers movie whenever that comes out. That looks interesting.
That could be good. Apparently Spider-Man Brand New Day is still coming out at the end of July. I thought that got delayed because of Tom Holland. I think he got injured on set or something, but directed by the Shang-Chi director, Punisher's in it. There's some cool elements here. This could be one of the better MCU movies.
Sure. I mean, they need a hit right now. They're desperate for one that's like what everyone's talking about. They haven't really had one since the last Spider-Man movie.
I have more confidence in this one than I do for Doomsday. When it comes to what's going to actually be a good movie, it's probably this one.
I would say maybe, but like, didn't he have to like say goodbye to his friends? We're seeing a reboot of Tom Holland's Spider-Man chronologically.
Pretty much, yeah. And
And is Tom Holland a good enough actor to hold that movie on his own? Because I think it's the setting that makes Spider-Man interesting. So are we getting a good portrayal of New York in this one? Are we changing what the MCU's like generic New York looks like?
it looks like we're gonna get a bunch of villains too, because I think they're finally doing Scorpion that was teased in Homecoming, but I
That's
don't think
right.
I think he's just the heavy. I think there's other main bad guys. It seems it's going to be a more grounded, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and I think that's what this Tom Holland Spider-Man needs. Especially if he's gonna get plopped in the Secret Wars right after this.
Yeah, I mean he's been Spider-Man for 10 years now.
Yeah, and it's weird. He hasn't really had his proper Spider-Man movie yet. Like he hasn't had his Spider-Man 2 yet, comparing to Tobey's. So we'll see if he finally gets that. I guess. As I just scroll through Clayface, we talked about that's coming out in September. The Resident Evil movie could kick ass.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
coming out in September.
I have full faith in Zach Krager to at least make an entertaining movie out of that.
Got-
I'm
got-
excited.
Got to be in like my top 3 most anticipated movies just based on the director. And I like the Resident Evil franchise. Maybe a good game coming out this year as well. Fingers crossed. Leon's back. Yeah, could be a good year for Resident Evil as a franchise as a whole. Digger in October.
That's right. Tom Cruise doing a Alejandro Iñárritu movie, which sounds odd. Is
Yeah,
this Tom Cruise
it's an
actually going
interesting
for an
duo.
Oscar?
Yeah, could this be his Oscar? Is he now trying to get the Oscar? Is that the next goal of his?
I mean, think about it. Leonardo DiCaprio finally got his Oscar for doing an Iñárritu movie.
Yeah,
Michael Keaton finally got his Oscar doing an Iñárritu movie.
he's the legacy director for old actors, and
I
it
think
looks
it's
like
something he's passionate about.
it looks like he's like transformed his like role too. It looks like it's going to be a lot of makeup or definitely a wig or a bald cap, whatever's happening there. And it's a comedy. That's really all we know about it right now. And I'm always down for unhinged Tom Cruise comedy. That's the best Tom Cruise as as a performance.
Yeah, I'm sold. I'm seeing Digger opening night.
Yeah. The Social Reckoning in October.
I'm more scared for that than I am the Cliff Booth sequel.
A sequel to arguably the greatest movie of the 2010s is just crazy to try to do without any of the main pieces. Like this is I feel like
It's
I'm gonna
insane.
I feel like I'm gonna walk out like the angry video game nerd. What were they thinking?
Yeah, no, it's really Aaron Sorkin flying too close to the sun, I fear.
The Hunger Games. A lot of people we know will be hyped for that movie. Maybe not for us particularly, but you really liked the last one, I believe.
It was way better than I thought it was going to be. It has a lot of problems. I think the whole franchise does. It's probably the best movie of the 5. Like, just as a movie, its own standalone thing. So, the fact that we're...
I was just gonna say, I think the problem with the franchise is that it expects you to already be attached to it. It is one of those book franchises where they are fully expecting you to go in, already read the book and looking for the beats. Whereas something like Maze Runner, which I've always praised over Hunger Games because they had quality directors and a good cast, and they always seem to put in that extra effort that Hunger Games to me doesn't. It just relies on its source material a little too much.
Yeah, oh, that's a very good point. And I think the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, I think was the name of the last one that came out. It leaned into characters that don't have as much in the books. Like, I think that is truly a shorter story with... And it's a prequel, so it's earlier in, like, the timeline, so there's less, like, oh, this world's already established, and we're assuming people already know about it. So I think that's why it structurally was the strongest. It does have like weird things like kind of out of place musical numbers and things. But I don't know. Whatever. It's Hunger Games. Let it be fun. I don't know.
What were you
The
gonna
most
say?
anticipated movie of next year has to be The Odyssey. If it's not
Yeah.
The Odyssey, like I mean that is exciting. I'm actually looking forward to it. I think it's Christopher Nolan actually going outside of his wheelhouse and making the biggest possible movie.
He
Which is
a
something he's kind of been shy to do. He's known
Yeah.
for making high concept movies that feel very in his wheelhouse, but
It feels like somebody
adapting a
hyped him up.
historical epic.
It feels like somebody hyped him up. Like, you just made one of the biggest movies of this decade. Like, go balls out. This is your one opportunity to just do whatever.
It's crazy. I mean, I
yeah.
didn't like Oppenheimer nearly as much as anyone else I've ever talked to. I think that this is really gonna be like Nolan's legacy of like, you know, being on the top 10 directors of all time list. A lot of it is in this. I think it's like, what? All right, dude, you've got half of Hollywood in this one too. What are you making?
And the movie that opened with Oppenheimer was Barbie, and Greta Gerwig's project after Barbie is Narnia, which I just read. This is Rolling Stone, so I don't know how accurate this is, but I guess the title is The Magician's Nephew, so it's doing that book, not Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, which I believe chronologically The Magician's Nephew is the first one, but not the first book released. I could be totally off, but I think I'm
You
right.
are actually 100% right.
Yeah.
The Magician's Nephew was the 6th book published by C.S. Lewis, but it is the first one chronologically. The world of Narnia gets created in the first book, or rather in The Magician's Nephew. So anytime they've released these books as a collection, The Magician's Nephew is the first one if you were to read them all in order. Like, they have a number 1 on the spine. It's meant to be read
They Lucased it.
Yes, yeah. C.S. Lewis did all that before George Lucas. The books are released in the stupidest way. I think he just was like, I'm feeling this story right now. You know, He started with Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, which it made sense in the early 2000s if you're looking to do Lord of the Rings for a wider audience. That makes sense to start there because it is the biggest fantasy setting and story. But it goes deeper both directions chronologically from there.
Do you think this might cause an issue with the general audience where they could be expecting Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, but we're getting a totally different story?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. I think it will. I don't know. Does Greta Gerwig want to make 7 of these movies?
Yeah, I don't know what the plan is here. So when it was first announced, I thought it was a show because I just read Narnia Netflix, and I was like, okay, Greta Gerwig's making a show, okay. Yeah. And then not only it's a movie, but it's getting a theatrical IMAX run. So I'm like, oh, so they really believe in this movie, and it's coming out Thanksgiving week as well. Like they really believe in this.
I have no idea what to expect or anticipate. I mean, Magician's Nephew as a book, I don't know if you've ever read it.
No, I never did.
It's one of the most boring in the entire franchise. I mean, it's got some material there. Like
the adaptation
there's world building.
The adaptation of The Magician's Nephew I watched was those really bad British BBC adaptations of Narnia I had on DVD.
Damn, you might be the only English or like a United States citizen I know who's watched that. A lot of my English and like British UK friends grew up with that shit.
Yeah, I think I got it at like a Borders or a Barnes and Noble, and it was like this big box set, and I'm like, oh, it's like all the Narnia stuff. Like I could just see what happens now. And I don't think I ever got through them. Like, they are tough watches. They're not built with, like, a 9-year-old with a light attention span either.
No. I mean, I think they're great books. I'm curious. I mean, like, what's the plan if, you know, maybe the first one is a success? Somehow Greta catches lightning in a bottle here?
I wonder if they filmed it back to back. I wonder if they're already like got Lion Witch in the Wardrobe like almost in the can.
Yeah, I don't think she's the type of person that wants to, like, she's made so many different types of movies, like rom-coms to historical dramas to Barbie movie to, like, does she really want to does she want to double the length of her filmography over the course of the next 10 to 15 years making
Yeah, like
7 Narnia movies? That's
yeah.
a big commitment. That's like doing
Yeah.
what like Peter Jackson like gave up 5-6 years of his life making the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and then like 12 years later came back and did the Hobbit trilogy, and then is now making a Gollum movie. Like, he's gonna make 7 movies over the course of 24 years. She's gonna make 7 just back to back.
These Netflix movies, I mean, are just these Netflix contracts I think are getting crazy. Rian Johnson hasn't made a non-Knives Out movie since The Last Jedi. That's crazy. That's 9 years ago now.
Yeah, but he has a hit show, or did, until it got canceled after its second season.
Yeah.
I guess with Poker Face, I guess with the series, you have to have a plan. Isn't that funny? You
Yeah.
can't just write a really good first season of TV and then be like, I don't know. What are we doing with the next one?
Speaking of a plan, Avengers Doomsday, as of this recording, January 9th, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for this movie?
Let's see.
With the teasers in mind, we have seen the X-Men teaser as of this recording. That's now publicly out.
3 out of 10?
I think I'm around you. I think I'd say a 3.5. I watched that X-Men teaser and I'm just like, Days of Future Past happened. Like, I got that already. Like,
Not only did Days of Future Past happen, it happened 11 years ago.
Yeah, like, I got the most satisfying way to close these characters, and they just keep coming back. Like, the Hugh Jackman thing it's a meme at this point. Have them just keep coming back, whatever. But as for everybody else, it was a fitting conclusion.
Yeah, I simply can't be bothered. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, none of this is captivating to me.
So I saw Thunderbolts, and I quite like Thunderbolts. And after it had the end credits scene of, these new Avengers, but now Sam, Captain America, is putting together his Avengers. So I'm like, okay, is that the plot? The 2 Avengers. But then the Fantastic Four are coming in, and I'm like, huh. And then, of course, Doctor Doom is the main villain. And now you're adding the X-Men, and I'm like, we went from this pretty, solid story to Avengers to now this with like 70 characters running around now. Like, the movie has to be 4 hours. I don't know how the hell you fit all these characters without that runtime. It's going to be crazy, and I just can't see it because of all this. I can't see it being the highest grossing movie of the year. It's going to Michael.
I mean, I heard nothing but nightmares about the script, about the production, about them hiring new writers and directors halfway through the movie. I think this could be the biggest cinematic disaster of our lifetime. I think it will be awful. And maybe that's where 2 of my 3 excitement points come from.
If it somehow turns out to be great, do we just bow down to the Russos, like, magic? Like that they somehow made a good movie out of this?
So, I have a very pivotal question to that. We have this one, which is called Doomsday.
Yes.
Avengers Doomsday. And then there's another one, Avengers Secret Wars.
Yeah, which is next Christmas. So 2 Decembers in a row.
Is this...
Allegedly.
Infinity War and Endgame? Are these like part 1, part 2? Do we know?
I think the initial plan was for Kang Dynasty to cause havoc in the multiverse, which would cause Secret Wars, and that would, align with, similar to the comic storyline. But here, I don't know how you go from Robert Downey Jr., Doctor Doom, to Secret Wars. Like, no wonder it took them forever to figure out an ending, because I have no idea how to connect Secret Wars to this. Secret Wars, especially if you're doing a lot of comic accuracy, Spider-Man has got to end Brand New Day with the black suit then. Like, there's a lot of things that need to happen in order for Secret Wars to happen. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and it all relies on this movie. Like, if Doomsday doesn't work, then what does that say for Secret Wars?
I just don't know what we're getting out of Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom.
Yeah, and I don't know what the plot is. Like, when Infinity War came out, we all knew the plot. Like, the Avengers are finally fighting Thanos. This is, over 10 years in the making. We all understood that, and they built it up as an important event. And then in Endgame, it's, well, how do they save the day after Thanos winning? It's the return of the Jedi of the Avengers franchise. But now you have this weird, almost legacy sequel. It's Disney admitting that the last two phases didn't work. We're gonna bring back everybody, and they're almost Force Awakening this franchise that didn't feel that it feels like Endgame just happened. I know it was 7 years ago, but to me it doesn't feel like that. I don't feel like we've been away from these characters long enough, and I think a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think this is just the definition of they've lost the plot. This is just you a kid playing with action figures, except the action figures are actors with millions of dollar sized contracts. I don't care.
It's funny
Like,
the movies are in the same position as the comics, where Marvel keeps continuing its main timeline while DC constantly is rebooting itself. It is funny how the art has mimicked.
yeah. I don't know. I'm excited for this to be the nail in the coffin for the superhero genre. I mean, I don't see a world where this is not only the highest grossing movie of the year, but also, like, I don't see a world where it's, like, even respected by its fan base.
It needs a damn good Super Bowl trailer. Yeah.
It needs to be the best Super Bowl trailer of all time. I need to understand what's happening. Like, what the plot of the movie's going to be, besides a new character showing up and saying 3 lines of dialogue. The biggest problem is they're going to have characters that, haven't been gone for that long.
We don't even know if Robert Downey Jr. is playing a version of Tony Stark, or is he Victor Von Doom? And I don't even know which one I'd prefer.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it doesn't make a lick of sense to me.
Yeah, if he
really doesn't.
If he never played Iron Man, I'd be like, oh, RDJ, that's a great Victor Von Doom casting. But is he just Tony Stark? Like, it's crazy. I don't even know if I'd call it stunt casting. It's so pro wrestling. It's the Undertaker coming out of retirement. Like, it is just such, like, it's an old athlete coming back, putting on the jersey one last time in a weird retirement year. I don't know. And we have a whole year to talk about it. Aren't we lucky?
I put money on a animated movie from China making more money than Avengers 4 next year.
I think at the very least, domestically, Michael is the highest grossing. Do you have a pick? Do you want to make a little bet? We could wager $1.
I'd rather gamble $1 than anything that these major studios are gambling. I am predicting that The Odyssey makes more money than Michael domestically.
Okay.
I think Michael might make more money internationally, but I think domestically, I think The Odyssey beats Michael, and
I'll take that bet. I think it's going to be close. All right. Digital shake. We all saw it.
All right, Ace. Last thing. Movie book club. What do you have to recommend to me for the next episode?
Oh, this is funny. I've been thinking about this, and maybe you've already seen it, but let me double check and make sure it's out, because we're gonna review our first 2026 movie together. We're gonna watch The Rip, Affleck and Damon joint, of course.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I felt like this is a perfect movie for us to review together. I mean, we could have a little retrospective on the careers of Affleck and Damon together as well. You know, it's one of my favorite duos in movies, so I'll have a lot to say, I'm sure.
Am I the Matt Damon? I have to be, right?
Yeah, I'm probably, yeah. I hope I have a better 40s than Affleck's been having.
All right, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. You want to hit the outro?
Still don't have one.